Yo, what is up, boys, and welcome back to yet another video. This one is going to be talking about a topic which I think everyone is thinking about, but no one really has the answer for, even myself. Obviously, I'm no all-seeing, all-knowing God, but I will hopefully give you guys some information about it, which is, of course, the topic of when is ARMA 4 going to be coming out. On top of that, I am also going to be talking a bit about what I'd like to see in the game. I know two other content creators who primarily kind of play ARMA, Drewski and Devil Dog have both made videos talking about that. So although I am definitely not a big milsim guy, no shit, I will still be talking a bit about what I would like to see in that game from my personal perspective. I'd love to hear what you guys think about ARMA 4, what you're looking for in ARMA 4, and also we're doing a bit of a special one here, guys. If you want to predict when ARMA 4 is going to be coming out, in the comment section below, leave a release date. Don't edit it, don't cheat. I'll buy you a beer if you're in the legal drinking age, or if you're not, I'll buy you a lollipop. Actually, I won't buy you a lollipop. That sounds a bit like grooming, so we're not going to do that. But anyway, I've recorded this 4 times now. It's kind of driving me insane, but let's get into it. We're going to be starting off by talking a bit about the ARMA franchise. I almost have the ARMA 3 franchise there. It started out back in 2016, and the interesting thing when you look at it is ARMA Armed Assault, which was released in the Czech Republic on November 10th, 2006. I don't really know what the distance of the time difference between the game Bohemia made before that compared to ARMA, but it didn't seem too long. But the difference between the games has just been getting higher and higher. Obviously, we live in the year of 2018. Games cost a lot of money to make, and it takes more time to make than ever before, so that's pretty much that. But between ARMA 1 and ARMA 2, we had 951 days, or 2 years and 7 months, which really isn't that much time when you think about it. ARMA 2 was released in 2009, again in the Czech Republic on the 17th of June. Definitely my favorite game. I love the way they monetized this game. It was really, really good, and I just wish it honestly ran a bit better. But ARMA 2, amazing game. But the difference between ARMA 2 and ARMA 3 was actually 1,549 days, which is a big difference compared to 951 days, right? That's 4 years compared to 2 years. But either way, ARMA 3 ended up coming out during 2013. I've actually fucked up my Bohemia, or not my Bohemia, my Wikipedia page. Don't worry, we've got it though. Came out on September 12th of 2013. The beta was released in June of 2013, if you want to count that as a release date, but I wouldn't really count it. And it is obviously the game which playing right now. It's a mid-2030s themed mil sim game. I don't like the theme. I don't like futuristic themes full stop. But the important thing to note is ARMA 3 compared to right now, in the year of 2018, we are actually looking at a difference of 1,671 days. So using this logic, does that not mean, surely, since ARMA 2 to ARMA 3 was 1,549, that ARMA 3 should at least have been announced by now? ARMA 4, I meant, not ARMA 3. Yeah, I guess, technically speaking, using this logic, which doesn't really make that much sense, ARMA 4 should have been announced by now, but it hasn't. In case you're wondering, ARMA 3 was announced back in 2011, obviously, like I said, being released in 2013, but since ARMA 4 is not even been announced yet, I'm going to say it's going to be coming out probably somewhere around 2020. I don't see it coming out of the blue, out of nowhere, Bohemia just saying like, hey, we've made this game, and we haven't been talking about it for some reason. There is still DLC coming out for ARMA 3 as we speak. In fact, in 2 days from now, on April the 11th, is the new Tanks DLC for ARMA 3, which is another DLC which you can pay $10 for. Not gonna lie, it does look pretty cool. It adds some new launchers into the game. You can see these beautiful tanks right here. Some amazing first-person perspective, picture-in-picture stuff, as you can see right here, and some, you know, knobs you move and control panels, which I'm sure are actually dynamically moved depending on what speed you're going. So I'm kind of excited for that. But at the same time, the main thing to notice is the Tanks DLC was supposed to be coming out before the end of 2018, or before the end of 2017, and it didn't come out until 2018, a bit later on. Bohemia do have a track record. No flame, don't take this the wrong way. I hope ARMA 4 is awesome, but Bohemia do have a track record of letting down and also being a bit late on delivering. This has happened over and over again, not just with Tanks DLC, but also with a wonderful game you guys might know called DayZ. We did finally get Xbox footage for DayZ, but obviously the beta was originally supposed to be coming out in 2015. We announced the Xbox release of DayZ in 2015. No, yeah, the beta was supposed to be coming out in 2015. And they announced the Xbox version of DayZ in 2015, but the beta is still not out. It's supposedly coming out very soon, and we also shown their first Xbox footage again in 2018. So that's 3 years of missed deadlines for DayZ, with both the Xbox release and also the beta release, and those things still aren't out, so it could be even further. So yeah, with all that out of the way, you might wonder, why is there even going to be an ARMA 4 for sure? Why are they not just going to constantly work on ARMA 3? If you look at Bohemia's past record of making games, I didn't play any of Operation Flashpoints, but I did hear good things. ARMA was essentially a spiritual successor to that. The only games really here which stand out, which really had a big impact on the gaming world, I'd say, with ARMA games. Even DayZ I wouldn't count because of its flaws, and who knows what's going to happen with that game in the future. it kind of sucked for a few reasons, but it could end up being good. But the rest of the games were attempts on trying to do something different, which just really didn't do too much. Argo was a PvP free-to-play version of ARMA. Didn't work. PvP in ARMA doesn't work. It's got trade frags. It's not meant for a PvP competitive game. Take on Mars was a Mars game. Wildlands is Minecraft. We don't want Minecraft. It's 2018. And DayZ, again, it's DayZ. We could talk about Carrier Commander, or Carrier Command. No one cares. Take on helicopters. No one cares. But yeah, with all that out of the way, what do I want to see from ARMA 4? Well, I do want to see it to come out, at some point in 2020. But performance is terrible. Performance, I don't know what's going on, but as there's more players on a server, as there's more AI on a server, the performance goes down. Even if I'm looking at a blade of grass, at 60 FPS with me on a server, I then have 100 people on a server looking at the same blade of grass. My FPS is less than 60% lower, I'd say, in my experience. It doesn't make any sense. It's nonsensical. I don't know why it happens, but performance is the number one thing, I think, which is limiting ARMA. It's an amazing game which does more than other games out there, ultimately. That's the cool thing about it, and it's one of the best things to realize when you're trying to do anything in life, whether you want to do Twitch or YouTube or make a game. Make it different. Maybe you'll tell me my content isn't different, but go away. Leave me alone. Okay, the point is, if you make it different, you don't need to worry so much about making an amazing game which runs really good. For example, like ARMA runs terribly because it already does things which other games don't do. It's on the scale which other games don't do. It's got more players than other games do, and those by themselves and the modability and stuff like that just all come together and make for a package which other games cannot compete with. There's competing things, which obviously life mods are very big with ARMA 3 and ARMA 2, mostly ARMA 3, I think was really big for my channel. The modding scene was huge on that. But there's things like GTA 5 roleplay, which do pretty good, but with 32 players and terrible voice of IP, it just isn't in the same region as ARMA 3 Life right now, which is the reason I'm bringing this up, is because it's so big with ARMA. Like, ARMA 3 Life is probably the biggest part of ARMA. Like, tell me I'm wrong, but the content creation on Twitch and YouTube and looking at the popular servers, all the big servers are Altus Life or the unmodded Life servers. That's just how it is, even though it is obviously a mil-sim game. And the thing is, there's been multiple opportunities, I'd say, for Bohemia to really capitalize on a new game idea being funneled through ARMA. The DayZ mod kind of missed out on it because DayZ Standalone sucked. Yes, it sold pretty good, 4 million copies, but if we look at the player base right now on SteamDB, sorry, I've recorded this 4 times, so I'm choking. But if we look at the player base, as you guys don't know already, I don't even tell you this, it goes down and down and down. And what are the players waiting for? They're waiting for beta. When is beta coming out? We don't know. Compared to a game which was also based on an ARMA 2 mod, ARMA 2 DayZ Battle Royale, PUBG, Bohemia didn't really capitalize on that too much either, and look at that, 33 million copies sold, over $1 billion in revenue just on Steam, ignoring other regions like Russia and China and that kind of stuff, and ignoring any cosmetics, which obviously they've implemented pretty successfully. The game has had its fair share of drama, but with no sales or anything like that happening, the game is done insanely well still. Now available on Steam. What? That's not true. Shut up. Oh, that's because it was released then, wasn't it? Yeah, or it was like official release, like version 1.0 or whatever. ARMA 3 isn't doing too bad, but it also is not on the up. What are the players waiting for? Are they waiting for the Tanks DLC, which is coming out in 2 days? No, probably not. Something needs to happen. The game has so much potential, and I do feel like it's limited because Bohemia don't really care what the content creators are doing. They just kind of focus on their own thing and don't really supply any information about that. Although the game, people are mostly playing like Wasteland, King of the Hill, Life mods, Exile, Zombie mods, whatever else. It's like those things don't really exist. Bohemia don't support them, they don't care for them, but they are Bohemia's main source of revenue. I just hope with ARMA 4 we get to see some better modding tools, with, map creation being a bit better, with dynamic lighting, so we can have underground environments. In fact, we can't have underground environments regardless of dynamic lighting. Underground environments would still be a big step up. Better modding tools and better performance will make this game go to a level which it's never seen before. It's a sandbox game which, just like I said, does more than our games, but we still need those things to be fixed, and I think it would just make the game better for everyone. Not just myself, not being a milsim guy. If all those things were better, then it would simply bring in more modders who are interested in, getting their mods out to people. If the game's dead, then people aren't interested in modding it because it's dead. We want to make mods for a game which is popular. I know it sounds kind of obvious, but yeah. Also, I thought this was pretty interesting, but did you guys know DayZ actually got PC Gamer's 52nd best video game back in 2015? Very interesting. I'd love to see what's going to happen with DayZ. Some people theorize that when the modding comes out and when beta comes out, it's going to be amazing. Like I said, we did show the Xbox gameplay, showing off Northwest Airfield at PAX East. It looks kind of cool, but who knows what's really going to happen with it. We'll see in a couple of weeks. and see what happens with that one. Yes, I will be, of course, trying out when that does come out. But really, my recommendation for now, since I think a lot of people are really let down by that, is yes, GTA 5 Roleplay is a good alternative to life mods, and I will play it when there is 64 slots, like 5M are eventually going to be releasing, and like a TFR equivalent on GTA. But really, just try other games which are interested in ARMA, which are being released is not ARMA, if that makes any sense. So there's games like Scum coming out soon, zombie survival game. That could be cool. Maybe it'll distract people from Exile and allow them to play something which is finally a good survival experience. Maybe. It looks kind of promising. Identity coming out later on this month, which is a roleplay opportunity, which could be awesome, or it could also suck. I am a pessimist with all these things. Bohemia let down, every games company lets down, but ultimately, I'm not shit talking, I'm just being real. If these games are just really, really good, they will be good for my channel, and they will be good for my enjoyment. I don't want them to suck. They just more often than not do kind of suck. So don't get me mistaken, I want them to be good, okay? Tanks DLC, I really don't have any care for. But Arma 3, the DLC as a whole, I just wanted to point this out quickly and get some people's feedback on it, but I think it was terribly monetized. But DLC, look at how much DLC there is. This isn't even all of it right here. There's bundles as well, which have got some things which aren't listed here. But to buy all the Arma DLC, I could just like crunch some numbers, but I'm not going to. But for the Tanks DLC by itself, it's $10. If you want to get it all, it's going to cost you at least $100, or roughly about $100 for Arma 3 and all of its DLC, which I just think is a bit ridiculous, really. It feels like they really just became a bit more greedy for money. There was no reason to split the DLC into a million different pieces. I get they do want to do some more detailed things compared to how they used to do things. Like, obviously, the Tanks DLC is doing this insane simulation of all these hands and picture-in-picture bullshit, compared to Arma 2, which had very little DLC, and it had combined operations in the form of Arma 2, Operation Arrowhead, and the two other DLCs, British Armed Forces and PMC. I don't really know these are DLC, but it didn't really feel like it was too bad. You know, it was only a few pieces of DLC. I guess now with digital downloads, it does make things a lot easier. Maybe Bohemia would have done it the same back with Arma 2, but with digital downloads, I mean, you don't need to, you know, distribute through a DVD. You can just download it on Steam and bam, you've got it. You know, you're not going to release Operation Arrowhead into a store with like, oh yeah, it's got a go-kart in it, guys. You guys want a go-kart? Buy the Arma go-karts DLC. I mean, obviously it wasn't April Fool's joke, but still, you get the point. It makes it a lot easier for updating the game with really small things. I just love the variation a lot more in Arma 2. I like the theme a lot more. I don't like the 2030s theme of Arma 3. I hope we go back in time again. There's no way we're going to get more futuristic, right? We're going to have to go back before 2030s, go to modern day, and have a bit of a different experience. I think Del Dog was talking a bit about Asia/Korea. I honestly don't really care where the game goes as long as the rest of things work out with modding and with performance, because the performance is nonsensical. Like I said, if you can get those down to a T, then the modding will obviously take over the game and will allow it to be a good video game. A good video game with potential of doing anything. Even if it is a Korean Arma game, you can still bring it wherever you want, if all of those things are true, and you can port assets and all that kind of stuff. So really, that's really, that's my checklist for Arma 4. Not run like shit, come out at some point before 2020, have good modding tools. I know the checklist is insane. What a boring ass checklist, but I think, I don't know, I don't want to ask for anything too specific, because honestly, I could not care less where the game's themed, other than not being themed in 2030s, because that, I didn't enjoy it too much. But yeah, Bohemia, they only reached out to me once in all the years I made videos. Although they have given me a job, but the only time they've ever reached out to me is, Lewis, do you want to make a video on ARMA Mobile Ops? No, I don't want to make a video on that. But when they reached out, they said they'd give me a copy of ARMA free to give away to a viewer. I still didn't play the game. You know, Bohemia, it was a nice try, but it just feels like if you look at all of the games I've ever made, a lot of them are just nice tries at making money. Not really like nice games. It's like, yeah, Wildlands, Minecraft, I don't know. Whatever, anyway. Hopefully this informed you guys a bit more about the ARMA franchise and you know, where it's been in the past and where it's going in the future, maybe. But just don't expect ARMA 4 anytime soon, because it's not been announced yet. I'm hoping to see an announcement soon. I don't know if anyone can help me out with this one in the comment section below. But is the Tanks DLC actually the last DLC? The 2016 and 2017 roadmap was the last roadmap which they released, and obviously there's nothing past 2018 because that's what the roadmap is. But I'm not entirely sure this is an all-encompassing. Oh wait, that's TBA. Maybe if we weren't late on that, I don't know. Whatever, leave me alone. Maybe this is an all-encompassing roadmap for the entirety of Arma 3, because you can see this does list every single Arma 3 DLC to date. So maybe this is the end of Arma 3 with the Tanks DLC. I genuinely Don't know. And I couldn't find it from Googling anywhere. So Bohemia, I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavours. I hope Scum doesn't suck, or Identity doesn't suck, because if it does, who knows where my channel is going to be when Arma 4 comes out, if it ever comes out. And also, one thing to note quickly before I wrap up this video, but Arma 4, a lot of people don't realize this, but Arma 3 had a lot of hype and stuff like that. And like, I made so many Arma 3 videos which were just so popular, even though they were shit back in 2013, just because it was like, whoa, Arma 3. If such like Arma 3 Sicin Escape, you'll see I had videos which were just like unedited Arma videos on like really basic shit back then, which Escape no, I did pretty good. You know, this right here, just me playing a mission file. The mission file's just been insanely popular. Escape from Straight, it's $101,000. Oh, yikes. 5 years ago, like, I could make a video on anything and it'd be popular, because Arma 3 coincided with the popularity, the massive popularity of the DayZ mod in 2012. DayZ mod came out in 2012, Arma 3 came out in 2013. Everyone's like, holy shit, what is this movement? What the fuck? But yeah, everyone thought like, yeah, buddy, it's gonna be like, Arma 3 is gonna have like a DayZ mod, and it's gonna be fucking amazing, and it's gonna be like the Arma 2 DayZ mod, but better. Then Standalone came out and disappointed everyone, and then 5 years have passed almost now, or 4 years. When did DayZ come out? I don't even know. Who cares? So that's what's happened instead. So yeah, that was a bit of a shame. But keep in mind, Arma 4 will not have the hype. There's more likely not going to be a mod which is going to innovate ever again in the way that Arma 3 did to a sandbox video game. It's just the harsh reality, okay? That's the harsh reality. But who knows? Arma 4 could still, you know, make a dent in the gaming world if it does have decent performance and modding and stuff like that. I do believe that the performance is really a big thing which is holding Arma back, with, you know, needing a really good PC to play the game, and then ignoring that, the game just runs like shit. It's not enjoyable to run a game. It's such a low FPS, it just isn't. And if you guys are watching, feel free to leave some feedback in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. Thank God I'm done recording this. After recording it 4 times, I just want to end my life, to be honest. Just kidding, guys. Suicide is not a joke. Also, there is a subdivision of Bohemia called, what do we call it? Bohemia Interactive Simulations, even. They make VBS. VBS is underground environments. And they have real-time destruction on buildings, I think. Come on, Bohemia, level up your game. What are you doing? You got 250 plus employees. Stop making Wildlands. Make Arma. Make Arma great again. I think. You can do that. Alright, bye guys.